Hi folks, we are making sun catchers. You put them in your window, they shine with lots of cool colors, easy to make, and they make an awesome gift. And Mother's Day is this Sunday, so maybe you can give this to someone. Now, you got your supplies in one of two ways. If you come to school, you got something that looks like this. If you're fully remote, you should have a folder that looks like this. Inside this folder is a sheet of black paper, a little section of tissue paper that's all stapled together, and there's also something round, like a CD or a protractor. Basically, the big round thing that's in your folder is for this project. So I'm going to be addressing both things as we work. So kids at home, you don't need a CD. This was just included in this folder for kids who are fully remote. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, the other supplies you're going to need are a glue stick, a scissor, and very important, a piece of scrap paper, something to work on. So this doesn't have to be plain paper. It's something you're going to throw out. What we are doing today is a little messy, so I just don't want you working directly on your desk or table. So first things first, lay down a piece of scrap paper. Next, I'd like you to find your black paper and put that in front of you. You can, if these are connected, you can separate them, okay? Now you need something big and round to trace to make a circle. If you're at home today, you can use something like a bowl. If you have my take-home folder, you can use the little CD I included. Whichever one you prefer. The bigger the circle, the larger your sun catcher is going to be, so use whatever you would like. Now we're going to trace that in the middle of our paper with a pencil, because a pencil has a little bit of luster or shininess to it, so it makes it really easy to see on black paper. Now we're going to cut the circle out. This is really good practice. So I didn't pick up the white paper, just to be clear. So best way to cut circles is first I'm going to get rid of all this other paper. Let's get it out from this. And we'll throw this part away. And now I'm going to start on my pencil line, and I'm very carefully going to rotate the paper as I cut. That's how you get really nice circles. Now, if yours comes out a little wonky and not all the sides are perfectly round, it's fine. Trust me, it's fine. Get something circle-ish and put that in the middle of your scrap paper. And now we're going to fold our circle into eighths. So in order to do that, we'll first fold it in half to make a half circle or a semicircle or a taco. Then we'll fold our half in half, making it a quarter. So I'm folding it over from left to right to make a quarter circle. So here we have 1/4. And to make an eighth, we fold it in half. So kind of make it look like a fan, and then close the fan shut like you're closing a book. Now this paper is thick, and it's not going to really stay closed. So I want you to hold the bottom like you're holding an ice cream cone. So bottom here is in your fingers. Now you're going to cut away different shapes to create the windows of your sun catcher. So starting here, I'm going to cut a big triangle. So I'm cutting from two sides. And notice I'm letting the scraps fall into this paper. This is going to make cleanup a lot easier. And maybe this time I'll cut more of a half circle. And I can cut from this side, or the top. And I'm going to do all three. So for the top here, I'm going to do a lot of smaller cuts. Oh, gosh. Okay, be careful. Honestly, that's fine. I cut a little bit too much. In any case, once I do that, oh, you know what? Happy accident. I'm actually really happy that happened, because look at the cool shape I got here. Always a cool surprise when you open these up to see what you get. So before I move on, though, I'm going to put all my scraps on my white paper. And now I can just recycle these really quick. Super convenient. Now let's put this back down. And now we're going to need our tissue paper and some glue. This is why the scrap paper is here. So make sure it's not sitting on your table, because I want you to cover the entire front with glue, which means you might end up going off your project a little bit. See, the first thing I'm doing here is I'm going along the edges. This is going to help it stick down a little bit better. And I want to be gentle. I don't want to accidentally rip my paper. And now I'm gently going over everything. I don't want big clumps. See that? That's not, you don't want that. So try to be careful about large clumps of glue. The way to avoid that happening is just don't press down super hard while you work, but you want the whole surface to be really sticky. All right, now check your fingers. If your fingers are sticky, you're going to have a really rough time with this project. So if you don't feel any glue on them, you're good to go for the next step. Otherwise, please wash your hands. Now we can fill in the windows with color, but I want you to think of a symmetrical design, meaning whatever you do to this side, do to this side. So I want both these diamonds to be green. So I'm going to rip some of my tissue paper because I don't need a lot. I just need enough to cover this hole. And pressing it down. I'm going to do that again. And I'm going to continue doing this until I fill up all the windows, but I'm going to skip ahead to that part. Ta-da! Yeah, I know it doesn't look good from this angle, but that's not the project. Your actual project is when you peel this up, and you flip it over, and you put it up to the light. See if this works. So what I did for some of these is I overlapped colors. You'll notice these two triangles look a little bit more orange. That's because I layered some reds and yellows in the same spot. You're more than welcome to overlap. What you want to avoid is this. See how my tissue paper is sticking out in a weird spot? Make sure that you are aware of those and get rid of them, because otherwise this really pretty project kind of looks a little unfinished. So trim off any of the paper that's sticking out. Then you can put this in your window and you can easily make a lot more. You probably have a lot of this stuff left over, so feel free.